Guys, I said it too early. Hey guys, welcome to another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about finished series recommendations. This was a lot harder to come up with than series recommendation. I want to try to get series that, even like that you probably may have not heard of. But today's video shout will be, for some reason, these names are really hard for me to pronounce. Lowert, I think Lowert, and Daniel Thrasher. But as always, if I happen to be mispronouncing your name, that will be the first at in the description below. With that being said, let's get into it. Now, these recommendations are things that I try to get that are good endings, and fun to read. Not too long to get started, and I try to get things that are finished. That way, you don't have that much time in your hand. You don't gotta worry about a Shonen Jump. You don't gotta read up to date on it. Some of them are Shonen Jump, but I just try and give series that I would recommend, even just in general. But I like to say some of these was canceled, but they was good. They were really good before they was canceled though. And unfortunately they be canceled, but they don't really have control over it. So for that reason, some of these I would say their ending might be weaker than the rest of their stories, but generally speaking, these stories are good all around. The last thing I say is that I try to keep series that maybe I already talked about before, but more importantly, I try to keep series that maybe not a lot of people was talking about. I know there's series on here that people liked, but I try to keep it with stuff that maybe people might not know as well. So, with that being said, let's get started with the first recommendation. Also, wait, before I get on, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if y'all would like another part, let's get this to 100 likes, and I'll make another part, whether it be finished series recommendation or just actual series. And keep in mind, these are all comics, once again. I never say that, but these are all comics. So, if y'all would like this series to continue onwards, or at least this recommendation size, then I would greatly appreciate. Let's get this to 100 likes. But I do have another video planned for drop, and if you want, if y'all like to figure out where to find it, when that video drop, it will be in the description below. Now, let's get into it. The first series I recommend is The Boxer. It's a really good series about a bully who can box, but he sees the world very slowly and doesn't really feel. And it's a really good and dramatic story where I would highly recommend, even if you're not a sports fan, it's a good story to read. And it's not the most complex, but it does make you question some things. And I think one of the most important things is nature versus nurture. But take for instance, the main character isn't necessarily evil, but a lot of the action may seem evil because he doesn't really he's kind of hollow, right? He really only cares for two things in his life, being his cat, which dies. I forgot to say, spoiler warning. You ever made this and I always spoil you. I always spoil you. I don't know why I'm getting tongue tied. I always spoil you in one part, but I would like to keep these as very possible, right? But take for instance, he really only cares for his cat and a girl that he seems to like, or at least get along with very well. But then there are other characters that I think one of the strongest things about the series is that every person seems to be every person that they focus on, but even the side characters seem to be their own character and have their own time to shine and showcase their own stories. So I will highly recommend it if you like boxing and really good art. They have amazing art. You like boxing and you like series where there's a main character, but you could say a lot of people are main characters. The next one that is from a webtoon is The Blood Butterflies. This series is a mystery, so I can't really get into much detail because a lot of the greatness of it is the mystery aspect. Where do these bugs come from? But it is a great story with great twists and is a reasonable twist. It also have great character interactions between the main character and other people, and reasonable action to combine said people. It also kind of begs the question, that I would like to see people read this with. What is it to be human? And like the aspect of the human spectrum and how we treat people like celebrities. So I would highly recommend that. The next series I'd like to talk about, I actually need to check the name of. The other two, conveniently enough, on the thumbnail, already have their title put out. But the next one I would like to talk about, I don't know why I did that. Is Doron. It's a great series. It had great fights. I highly recommend it. It's a shame that it got canceled, but the ending is actually pretty good despite the cancellation. I can see that there probably was more that they could work with, but for it being canceled, it was really good. I have a video plan about why I think Shonen Jump will see a significant decrease soon. But if you like action and kind of like buddy cop situation, I would highly recommend you go read it. It's not that long. It's only 36 chapters long. It got canceled once again, but it definitely is worth it. Now the next series also got canceled. I would say also this series didn't really live off on a cliffhanger. Like there was more than you will want from it, but it actually felt like a manga ending. No offense to other series that I'll be talking about, but there's a big difference in between them just showing a character react with another character and being kind and trying to help people and being like and them being, I'm about to punch you but you won't see it, or we're about to fight but you won't see it. Like we've been trying to drive home that the main thing will be this fight, but we're gonna skip over it, like a lot of details to get here and get it. In case you weren't known for the reference of, I'm talking about martial arts, or at least that latter half. I'm talking about martial arts. No, martial master. I keep saying martial arts. Martial matters Usumi. I think that's how you say it. Which, not the bad, like it's not a bad ending. It's just kind of terrible. It's not the worst ending that I've seen. For that, I would say PPP. I could make an entire video about how I like it, but this is a video about what I do like. Now, this show, I don't know why I said show. This series is called Shaman. Essentially, you and me, right? We both like anime, most like if you're watching this, or at least webtoons, or we both like fights, right? We like shonen, most likely. It's essentially what you took a shonen, like a person who likes shonen, and actually trained because of it, and you put them in a fight, like to fight other people. But they're really strong, and they're fighting magic, cool people. They're demons, but that have actual aspects of Japanese culture in it. So you also like Japanese culture with demons. Of course, there are other series like this, with like taking account actual Japanese culture. But if you really like their stuff, you probably like this series. It also was fun to read and had really fun fight scene and was very creative with the character Owen. And to end this video off, because I talked about it on the thing and I talked about it by the time the series ends, so it wouldn't make sense for me not to recommend it. There's a previous video. I don't know which week I talked about it, but I did talk about it when it ended. So you might already know if you've been watching my content for a long period of time what show I'm talking about. This last recommendation also webtoons. This webtoon is called Ultra Alternate Main Character. It's a great series, great fight scenes, great storytelling. I would highly recommend you go read it. And it's just really fun to read and fun to see how they come up with abilities. They're not really a big moral dilemma to question, but I do like the way the characters interact and how every character, for the most part, seem to have a reason for what they're doing. Even if the reasons seem dumber than others, they at least have a reason for fighting. They have a reason for what they do. And, that is always a good thing. Sometimes characters may seem bland. But every character seems to be their own person, and even if you have two characters with the same power set, they use it in unique ways, which I think is really good. Also, I like the unique classes they have. So I would highly recommend you go watch me read any of these series that I said. But with that being said, this is the end of the video. If y'all like the recommendation I give, then thank you very much. If y'all will please like and comment and subscribe, I will also greatly appreciate that. But keep in mind that it's not mandatory. Now, today's shoutouts once again is Daniel Thrasher, and Lowit. But as always, if I haven't been mispronouncing your name, y'all will be the first acts in the description below.